First week's brackets are in, ladies and gentlemen. Playoffs are the buzz around town and around the nation. We have here tonight, we're in the Bru'S room, broadcasting live, Broward County and Dade County schools, ladies and gentlemen. We are your high school sports network. This is NCRA Sports Network.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports, NCRA Sports Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host tonight, Ryan Stout, stepping in for my brother Glenn Stout. As you can see, the guys next to me, you've seen them all year long, every week, Wednesday night. Got Mr. 305 himself, Coach DC, and Mr. Broward County,
how you doing?
DAMIEN Hunt. We're here today down at Bru'S Room, the hot spot in Coral Springs. If you're not here, you're not doing anything. Happy pre-Turkey Day. It's going to be a great day tomorrow, and you're going to have a great show today. Coaches, what's going on?
I'm great, man. Prepared to eat a lot tomorrow. But I'm excited about this playoff system we're getting ready to jump into, man. It's a ball. Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County, all counties. I'm loving it.
Well, down to 305, we definitely got to have some sweet potato pie.
Well, we got a great show coming up for you guys today. Right now, we're going to go straight in to the highlight breakdown. The game of the week, Miami Central versus Archbishop McCarthy Mavericks. We're going to get into that, break this video down for you guys that you missed last week.
Okay, the Rockets are in the tunnel. As you can see, the Rockets have their little blown up tunnel there. They come out every game for that. Looks real sharp. They're really fired up down there, and we're ready to roll with them.
And not to mention, I mean, with Miami Central, you have to take into consideration, this is a great bunch of kids. Coach Locke is doing a great job with these young men. They're pumped up. They're live. They stay live. And, you know, they have a great time on the football field. And as they come out of the tunnel, I mean, you see them bouncing around and you get ready to run with the flags. It's a great time.
Coach, that's not the only time they bounce around. They bounce around all over the field. And when the defense comes out, they jump around in the center of the field before they get started.
And here they go. They're coming
out
that tunnel.
Coach, I've been hearing about this Central team all season. I'm excited to watch this film right here, Coach.
Coach, they're a special group. Every year they're special. They just, you know, they don't rebuild. They reload every single year.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you look at the name Rockets, that's the perfect mascot for this team. Because the way that they run, the way that they hit, is nothing less than like Rockets.
Well, here we go. We got the Mavericks back to punt, and the one and only Davin Cook will be returning this kick here.
First play from scrimmage.
Ball hits the ground. Davin picks it up, and Coach, once he gets to the outside, he gets one key block. Right.
Crack back, baby.
Here.
Missile.
And off to the races he goes.
Coach, my thing is that one thing I noticed about Mr. Cook is that once he sees a crease, he's a very smart runner. But once he sees a crease, he is hitting it, and he's hitting it hard. And he, much like they said, the name Rocket, that's one of the Rockets right there on every case.
Yes, it is, Coach. He's special, along with his counterpart, Mr. Joseph Yarby. With 8:20 left in the first quarter, the Rockets are up 7-0. So we'll get ready to go back again and see exactly what's happening on this film. This time the Rockets are on offense. Quarterback looks, he fires, and it is complete. He just throws the receiver down, he cuts the defender down, he cuts back, and he walks into the end zone. That's Tavares Brown Jr., folks.
Coach, off to the races, Coach. I mean, that's pure speed right there.
Yes. Coach, not only speed, but strength. All game long, their coaches were screaming, the Mavericks better get in the weight room.
Yeah, I mean, in actuality, Coach, you also, I mean, you had Brown Jr., you had Phillips. I mean, you had multiple receivers doing big things within this game, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
That's beautiful. Now the Rockets are back on offense here. They're in that 22 set, spread out. Actually, they're in the empty set, and they hand it off to Joseph Yarby. And watch the footwork. He just makes people miss. He makes you look like you're not there.
He's got moves, Coach. He's got moves.
Yes, Coach. He's special.
And at the same time, Coach, I was actually at the game, and I'm looking at the highlight as we speak right now, and I'm still amazed, and I still can't believe of all the things that's going on the football field. it is special, this 1-2 punch that goes on right now.
Here you are, Ryan. He's scrambling around. He could have ran it in very easily, but he threw the ball. Pick up those stats, Coach.
It looks good to me. I mean, one thing you have to also take into consideration, the Rockets aren't doing anything major. They're doing a lot of run and shoot, old school run and shoot that we used to talk about back in the day. And I mean, right now you're looking at phenomenal high-octane football.
Minute left in the first quarter.
And the Mavericks had nothing to answer with. I mean, sort of felt sorry for them a little bit there.
A little draw to Cook. And once Cook gets to the outside, it, as they said back in the day, cater by the door.
Coach DC, all I hear around here is cook, cook, cook.
He's special, Coach. He's something.
And I tell you one thing, one thing that we'll definitely say about his speed, he's definitely microwave, not a slow cooker at all. I mean, he's a very special kid, very humble as well, and that's what I actually like about him and Yarby. They look out for one another, and I mean, it's definitely a family environment out down there in Miami Central.
Coach, we're already 28 points up in the second quarter.
Yes, Coach, they were pretty much unstoppable. Archbishop was a little outman from the beginning of the game. It was a known factor. What was happening was not a surprise.
I mean, that was actually the quarterback Reed taking that in. He saw no one downfield and just decided to waltz in. I believe he stopped the moonwalk, pop lock a little bit, and then across over the end zone.
Quarterback fires this time. He throws the quick slant. They put Quaz to one side, left one-on-one backside, and there was the slant in the middle of the field, wide open.
And again, that was DWYER Brown Jr. I mean, you're looking at these special kids. I mean, they had speed, and there you go. At the half, it's 42-0, and we actually thought it was going to be a running clock coming out of the half. It very well should have been, but you know, Coach Walker said no. There I am talking to Coach Lockett, and one thing that he just actually emphasized was that he wanted to make sure that his running backs stayed in the game. It's actually his first series team stayed in the game because he wants to make sure that they were crisp. He wanted to make sure that they didn't forget anything, and a lot of the penalties, they wanted to clean up a little bit. And Coach Lockett did a great job because when he came out of the half, that's exactly what happened. They cleaned up a lot of things, and there we go, second half.
Back from halftime. That
was a field goal by Emilio, Mr. Super Leg. He just kicked a 30-yard field goal there to put him up 45-0.
And Coach, one thing about Super Leg, as you call him, once he kicked the ball, you really didn't want to be around the ball. All you heard was a loud thud, and that was his foot touching that ball, and it was sail. I think he kicked the ball, and it's still going right now, 5 days later.
Is that Tebow right there, Coach?
Coach, they went to their backup, Brandon Diaz, and he pounded it in, looked kind of Tebow-esque.
And he's a linebacker. He also plays linebacker, so you'll see him in on some tackles as well. I mean, nice-sized kid as well. It's 2-0, third quarter, 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
And there's Brandon Diaz back at quarterback again. This time he fires, and watch the play by the receiver.
I mean, look at this.
Coach, that was number 10, Anthony Jones. Making everyone miss, showing what he can do. He's like Devontae Phillips. Hey, Brown, I can do this too.
And I tell you one thing, he looks like a Jones. Right now they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and they really couldn't do it.
Right. Exactly, Coach. With it 59-0, it was kind of like our mop-up duty here. But, you know, Archbishop was able to get on the scoreboard with a 59-7 score.
This is the NCRA Sports Network going to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Come on down to Bru'S room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Bru'S room. Great taste is just the beginning.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports. NCRA Sports Network.
There are over 1,800 colleges and universities in the nation. There are over 10 million high school student athletes that graduate each year. Only 0.08% of these student athletes that graduate receive full scholarships.
We're here, we got your back.
And you can go back and get your college degree and come back and help us, man.
It all started with a dream. And now it's up to us to keep it alive.
If you're sitting out there and you're wondering, you have to start that process.
Education comes first. You never know what the future holds.
Gave me a better opportunity to make it in life. Live your dreams.
How far are you willing to go?
The NCRA Game of the Week, Archbishop McCarthy and Miami Central. You got to see it. Coach, 59-6. Coach DC, Coach Damien, what happened?
Well, Coach, it was not an even matchup to begin with. Central was a little, they were just too much for Archbishop. They featured two of the best athletes probably in the country, in Davin Cook and Joseph Yarby. They both rushed for over 1,000 yards this year. Cook averages 12.1 a touch, and Yarby averages 7.7 yards a touch. So it was kind of tough for Archbishop. I mean, they were jumping into deep water when the schedule was made.
And also, you know, we can't miss the elephant in the room, and that's exactly all the intangibles that Cook bring within special teams as well. You don't want the ball bounced around and there's nobody there to touch the ball, to down the ball for the opponents. So I'm telling you right now, Cook will pick it up, and he's taking it to the house almost every time. So the thing is, I mean, he had well over 250 yards, all-purpose yards, on Friday. Over 250 yards. I mean, he had a down night by having like 60 yards rushing. The majority of the yards came from punt returns. So, I mean, it just goes to show you how special this 1-2 punch and also what Cook can do with the special teams, kickoff return, punt return. I mean, they are all over the place, and they do a great job over there. I mean, you're talking about 2,100 yards between both Yarby and Cook. That's ridiculous.
Coach, it looks like Central is the talk of Dade County right now.
Well, they're the talk of Dade County, but there's a couple other teams that's going to give them a run for their money, and one being the Miami Northwestern Bulls. The Bulls are very defensively sound, very good on offense with Darius Tice, so it won't be a runaway by any stretch of the imagination. So Central has their hands full this week, Coach.
Now, Coach, let's talk about the regular season. What was Central producing during the regular season? Central
started out slow. They faced the #1 team in USA and ESPN today in Grayson, Georgia, and they lost 33-3. Then they came home and upset Booker T. Washington, 37-26. They went on the road again and faced the #1 team in Florida, which is Bradenton Manatee. Bradenton Manatee was able to defeat Central 44-34. And from then, Coach, they've won 7 in a row. They're on a roll right now.
You're talking about taking off like a rocket. I really cannot stress how much that mascot and that name really fits Miami Central. They come out with tenacity, they come out fast, and they come out hitting hard. And one thing that you have to take into consideration is that they hit hard, they score hard, and the one thing, they're well coached and they're well disciplined. This is a family-oriented team. That's a brotherhood like I've seen in no other place. And I haven't covered Dade County a lot, but with the few games that I have, talking about Central being a very top-notch program, and they're going to create some problems for schools to come. It is going to be a big game between them and Northwestern. Northwestern's going to have to stop that two-headed monster. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, Coach, I hear Coach DC. He can talk about Dade County now.
Yeah.
We can't forget about Broward County, Coach.
Can never forget about Broward County. That's home.
Talk to him, Coach.
Broward County, I tell you right now, with so many committed athletes coming out of Broward County. I mean, you got Cypress Bay, you got Board Anderson, you have St. Thomas, you have Miramar. With those 4 teams alone, I'd be surprised on National Signing Day. You talk about maybe 30 signees on National Signing Day between those 4 schools alone. So you're looking at a lot of talent getting ready to come out. A lot of these teams are playing each other. You have Miramar versus Cypress Bay. That's going to be a powerhouse. That's going to be a powerhouse matchup. You have DWYER versus Board Anderson. That's going to be a powerhouse. You have Cypress. I mean, you have so many of these schools out of Broward County. So Dade County, I mean, they hit you in the mouth and they hit you hard. But Broward County, I mean, they'll sucker punch you too.
Okay.
And of course, we can't forget about University School. I mean, you got a lot of talent coming out of Broward County, so don't sleep on Broward County by a long shot. Again, we're gonna have fun, and I'm looking forward for Broward versus Dade. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's gonna be a phenomenal time.
Well, it sounds good, Coach. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. You're here with NCRA Sports Network. We'll catch you. Tune in.
Come on down to Bru'S room. Great taste is just the beginning. First thing that you'll notice, this is your kind of place. When you sit back and relax, you're gonna love the taste. Good times don't go to waste. You found the right place. Come on down to Bru'S room. Great taste is just the beginning.
Welcome back. You heard the breakdown of last week, Archbishop McCarthy, Miami Central. Now it's time to get in to the meat of it. Coach, last week, we're hearing predictions. What are the brackets looking like?
Coach, well, we had a couple shakeups in the bracket, but the brackets are pretty set right now, but this week we'll tell the story. Last week, we had a couple upsets. We felt Miramar really upset South Plantation. South Plantation was the favorite, but Miramar was the hot team, and they pulled it out. Plantation went down and beat American down in Hialeah, American High School, and the big one was American Heritage being upset by Miami Jackson, the Miami Jackson Generals. Of course, we must say Miami Jackson Generals.
The 305.
And Coach, we talked about that during the week, Coach. We talked about, you see, Ryan, we talked about how Dade County schools, a mediocre Dade County program, comes to Broward County, and they wreak havoc on some of the top schools here. And it happened again with American Heritage versus Jackson.
See, Coach, I'm not around every week. I get to tune in on the show. I'm up in Georgia. I see you have over here. You have your personal predictions.
Oh yeah, Coach. We predicted 12 games last week. Coach DAMIEN HUNTE happened to be 9-3 last week, which is a very good record. G4, who's not here tonight, he was also 9-3. And yours truly, Coach DC, no better, 9-3.
Now, Coach, what can we talk about next week's predictions?
Next week, Coach, we got a lot of good stuff going on. We got some top schools going at it. We got Miami Killian versus South Dade. And, I'm going to take South Dade because they're pretty good every year. And what about you, Coach Hunt?
What you got to say about that?
I'm going, since that's how we're talking Dade County, I'm going to go with Killian. To be honest with you, I actually just like the first part, kill. And I figure that they're probably just going to kill South Dade. And not to mention it seems like they're a little bit closer to Broward County than South Dade is. So I'm going with the team that's closer to Broward County, Killian.
Okay, Coach, I'll take that one. That's good. That was good. I'll take that.
All right, what do we have for 7A?
7A, we got a couple. We got Plantation versus St. Thomas. I'm going St. Thomas. I just don't think Plantation can match up. They've had a great year, and they'll fight hard, but I think St. Thomas will come out on top.
I too call St. Thomas for the main reason that St. Thomas actually plays a lot of nationally ranked teams. Plantation more so plays a lot of the local teams, and you really get a good gauge as where you are when you play against teams outside of your bracket. And St. Thomas does it every year, and of course you can never count what Coach Smith, who's now the AD over there at St. Thomas, what they bring to the table. And I have to go with the Raiders of St. Thomas over the Colonels of Plantation.
Did we just have an agreement?
We have an agreement, Coach.
We did. Yes, we did.
Also,
you see it here first.
We got our game, Coach. We got Boyd Anderson, the Cobras, versus DWYER, the Panthers. I'm a homer. I'm going BA. Blair, if you're watching, bring it home.
Bring it home, Coach.
Last time I picked with my heart. I'm not doing that this time. I have to go with DWYER for the main reason Boyd Anderson is a very slow starting team. They're a second half team. You can't start off slow with DWYER. And they even started off a little slow last week. I can't even remember who Atlantic guy. They start off a little slow, but the thing is, Atlanta doesn't have the powerhouse of an offense that DWYER has. And though Boyd Anderson is a very, very well-disciplined defensive team, the offense sometimes gets stuck. And even with the newly, from my understanding, Mr. Eddie Relaxing Jackson, or Action Jackson, I should say, with him getting actually a commit from Tennessee. Congratulations, Mr. Jackson. I just see too much of a retarded start coming out of the gate for Boyd Anderson. So I have to go with DWYER Panthers.
What about that quarterback they got over there, Coach?
Coach, at Boyd Anderson?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Hankerson.
Mr. Hankerson.
Mr. Hankerson. He's special, Coach. He is great. He's exciting to watch. But just to talk a little bit about DWYER and Boyd Anderson, I know Coach says Boyd Anderson starts slow. However, Atlantic, the team that Boyd Anderson just beat DWYER. So we got something special here, Coach. We got something that could be a barn burner.
But at the same time, Coach, not to disagree with you, but when it comes to the regular season, it's over. We're in playoff ball now.
Yes,
so
sir.
it's everything that it's all fine and dandy. Everybody can have a beautiful time doing. You can have a fun fest during the regular season. But now it's playoff time. All bets are off. I'm going with DWYER. I love the Cobras. I love what Coach Blair, Coach Camacho, all the coaches are doing over there. They're doing a phenomenal job. However, DWYER is a fast team offensively and defensively. And one thing you can't sleep on with DWYER is also their special teams. They'll block kicks real fast. And they're coming after Mr. Jackson with that rugby-style kick on that left-hand side. I didn't tell him what to do. I'm just saying.
Coach, it sounds like you've ridden BA off.
I plead the fifth, Coach. I plead the fifth.
Okay. Now let's take it on down the line. Who we got next,
Coach? Let's go out of the area for a second and look at Bradenton Manatee at 11-1 versus Venice at 9-3. Venice is a veteran football team, but Bradenton Manatee is a dynasty. What do you think? I'm taking Bradenton Manatee.
I have to go with Manatee. I mean, I see exactly how many athletes they bring out of Bradenton, and you're talking about Tommy Frazier, former Nebraska quarterback. You're talking about a great. I mean, the names are endless. I have to go with what I see, eye test from years, and they still have the same coach. I got to go with Bradenton.
Okay, well, let's stay out of the area, Coach. Let's go with Dr. Phillips, who's 11-0. And they lost in the state championship to Central 2 years ago. And they'll be facing Tampa Plant, 10-1, who beat.
Do they have a chance, Coach?
Who did they beat last year? Miramar.
They beat Miramar.
They beat Miramar in the state championship last year. Tampa Plant will be 10-1, and Dr. Phillips is 11-0. I'm going to go with Plant because I like their program. They have a coach who's been there 20-plus years. They have a program there. It's not just a football team. It's a program. That's why they're in this position every year.
I have to go with the other program and Dr. Phillips. They are a well-conditioned team. They've gone to quite a few games where they brought it out at the end, and I like to see what you have when all your chips are down. I got to go with Dr. Phillips.
Okay, Coach. With that being said, we can go back to our area. Let's go with Cypress Bay, Miramar.
Okay.
I'm going Cypress Bay, Coach. I love what Coach Gondolo is doing over there at Cypress Bay. These kids, from the beginning to when it's time to board the bus, are the most disciplined team I've seen in a very long time. I love their discipline, offensively and defensively. The coaches put them in a good position to make sure that they're successful. I'm going with Cypress Bay.
Well, Coach, I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going with Miramar. I think that Mr. Days from Cypress Bay is going to have a long night, much like Mr. Collins did from South Plantation. And if you can't score, you can't win.
But Coach, we covered the Boyd Anderson Miramar game, and I saw exactly how BA actually manhandled Miramar, offensively and defensively. But when Boyd Anderson played Cypress Bay, they had no answer. So I'm going with the eye test. When we also covered Cypress Bay versus Boyd Anderson, I'm going with Cypress Bay beating out the team that beat out one of the top-notch teams in Broward County, if not the state in Miramar.
Coach, you sound pretty confident with that.
I got to go with Cypress Bay. I got to go with Coach Guandolo. I mean, he's a veteran in the game, been in Broward County for over 20-some-odd years. Got to go with him.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm still going with Miramar. However, However, you did say that was the regular season.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Playoffs is a different animal.
I did.
Yes. Okay, one more game down south. We got Coral Gables at 4-7. They kind of backed in, and you got Columbus at 7-4. I'm going with the Explorers. I'm going to take Columbus here.
I like Columbus as well. I've seen them for a number of years. I just don't know that much about Coral Gables other than they get in a lot of fights. That's all I really know about Coral Gables. So I'm going with Columbus.
Okay, Coach, we're going to stay in Dade County.
Of course we are.
Miami-Jackson at 6-4 versus Miami-Norland at 9-2. That game will be played over at North Miami Stadium, better known as the Mosquito Bowl.
I'm going with Norland, only because of the size of their defense is probably about the size of Dallas Cowboys' defense in the pros, and these kids are in high school. So I love their defense. There's a lot of size there. I'm going with Miami-Norland.
Okay, Coach, against the grain again. Okay. Give me Miami-Jackson. They played well against Northwestern and lost. They came up here and upset American Heritage. I think I'm going to jump on that upset train.
Coach, I'm not trying to jump on any sides, but I might just have to jump on the Northern the wagon over here because, Coach, we did a spring tour down there this past season. Coach, they're animals. That defensive line, Megatrons.
Well, we got Dade County versus Dade County, so it's equal. So I'll take Jackson anyway. Well, let's go down and look at 4A and talk about Miami Booker T. Washington versus Miami Gulliver Prep. Miami Booker T is 10-1 and Gulliver is 6-5. Coach, I hate to say it, but I expect a severe beating here, a very severe beating.
I am going for an upset. And that means that Gulliver Prep is going to be upset that they got to go home so early because Booker T is going to run through them. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is.
I'll take Booker T also, Coach. and I'll give you a little prediction. I'm thinking maybe 60-7 Booker T. They're on a mission, Coach.
They are on a mission, and they're mad at everybody. So, you know, I would just say a blowout. I'm scared to even give them. Last time we said it was going to be, you did say give them 70-0. And I think I gave them like 47-0 because I thought they would actually.
So are we looking at another Central Archbishop game?
Yes. Maybe worse.
Maybe worse.
And this is the second round. That's crazy.
And Booker T happens to be in that division. But we'll move on, Coach. We got American Heritage Delray at 11-0 versus University School of Davie at 9-0. Guess what, Coach? Somebody's O has got to go.
It's going to be a game right here.
Yes,
it's
sir.
It's going to be a heck of a game.
I'm taking University School.
Okay.
I'm confident.
Coach, this one hurts my heart because I actually know Coach Sizemore over there at American Heritage Delray. But I love what University School is doing right now. So I got to go with University School as well. They're doing a great job over there.
Okay, Coach, we got Dade Christian versus who are 11-0 versus Glades Day over there with Taylor at 9-2.
I'm going with the Taylor kid. I got to go Glades Day. That's a beast of I mean, what he averages like 1,000 yards a game. I mean, seriously, I got to go with him.
Yeah, Coach, he's a great player, and I agree with you. But I'm taking the home team. I'm staying in Dade. I'm taking the 11-0 Dade Christian team who don't know how to lose yet.
Out on this side. Go ahead.
Okay, Coach, and I saved the best for last. Now, no one wants to make this pick, but we will. It's the Miami Central Rockets versus the Miami Northwestern Bulls. Miami Central's 8-2. Miami Northwestern is 9-2. Miami Central won the regular season. And what do you have to say about that, Coach?
I'm going with the 1-2 punch that'll make you punch drunk. I'm going with Miami Central, mainly because they actually have a history of Coach Lockett. Miami Northwestern Bulls, though, are a very talented team. They got a brand new coaching staff there. So I'm going to go with something that's a little bit more sound. I'm going with Central, Yarby, and Cook. I'm going with the explosion. I'm going with that solid defense. Got to go with Central.
I like, Coach. I agree. I like Northwestern because of their defense. I like them because of their coaching staff. They're young. They're new. I like Telly Lockett over at Miami Central. I like everything about Central, so I'm going to take the Rockets, but I'm not going to take the Rockets by much. I think the Rockets should be able to squeeze out a 24-21 victory on the foot of Emilio.
Hey, Coach, sounds good. Sounds like a good second week of the playoffs. It's crunch time, sudden death. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Broward County, Dade County. Ladies and gentlemen, this is NCRA Sports Network. We'll be right back.
You're watching the NCRA Sports Network, the #1 sports network in the nation, covering high school sports, NCRA Sports Network.